Imagine a city besieged for 10 years, a place where every stone, every wall tells a story of relentless war, heartbreak, and heroism. A city whose fate was sealed not by armies storming its gates, but by one of the most cunning deceptions ever recorded, the Trojan Horse. This is Troy, a city of myths and legends, where gods walked among mortals, heroes rose and fell, and a war born from love and betrayal changed the course of history. What really happened during the siege of Troy? Was it a mere myth or a brutal reality shaped by ancient conflicts? And how did a wooden horse become a symbol of ultimate trickery? Today we dive deep into the siege of Troy, uncovering the layers of history, myth, and legend that have captivated the world for millennia. Welcome to History Tales. The story of Troy is one of the oldest and most fascinating in human history. From Homer's Iliad to modern archaeological digs, it has inspired poets, historians, and artists alike. The Trojan War, said to have lasted a decade, was sparked by one of the most famous episodes of love and betrayal: the abduction of Helen, the wife of Menelaus, by Paris, Prince of Troy. But the war is more than just a story of battles and bloodshed. It's a saga that reveals the complex interplay of human passion, divine intervention, political ambition, and cunning strategy. Join me as we unpack the origins, the players, the battles, the fall of Troy, and the legacy that still resonates today. 1. The mythical origins, gods, Apple, and the judgment of Paris. The tale begins in the realm of gods and goddesses. Eris, the goddess of discord, enraged by her exclusion from a wedding feast, tossed a golden apple inscribed, "To the fairest," into the assembly of gods. Hera, Athena, and Aphrodite all claimed it. The mortal prince Paris was chosen to judge who deserved the prize. Each goddess offered a tempting bribe: power, wisdom, or the love of the most beautiful woman. Paris awarded the apple to Aphrodite, who promised him Helen of Sparta. This divine contest set in motion the events that would lead to the war. This story isn't just mythology. It reflects ancient Greek values, the importance of beauty, honor, and fate. How much did belief in the gods shape the warriors' minds during the siege? 2. Helen of Troy, the face that launched 1,000 ships. Helen's abduction, or elopement, was the immediate cause of war. Described as the most beautiful woman in the world, Helen was married to Menelaus, king of Sparta. Her departure with Paris sparked outrage and united Greek kings and warriors under Menelaus' leadership to reclaim her and punish Troy. But who was Helen really? A pawn in a divine game? A willing participant? Or a symbol of deeper political alliances? Her story raises questions about the roles of women, power, and agency in ancient times. 3. Troy, geography, archaeology, and the city's strategic importance. Troy was located in northwest Anatolia, modern-day Turkey, near the Dardanelles Strait. This position made it a vital trading hub controlling the passage between the Aegean and Black Seas. Archaeological excavations have uncovered multiple layers of cities at Hisarlik, revealing Troy's wealth, advanced fortifications, and strategic significance. The city's massive walls, described vividly in ancient texts, were believed to be impregnable. How did Troy's geography and wealth contribute to its resilience during the siege? The Greek coalition: kings, warriors, and complex alliances. The Greek forces were not a unified army, but a coalition of city-states, each led by its own king or warlord. Agamemnon, king of Mycenae, was the nominal leader, but rivalries and personal ambitions often created friction. Achilles, the greatest Greek warrior, was known for his unmatched combat skills and volatile temper. Odysseus, famed for his cunning and diplomacy, played a key role in shaping the war's outcome. Each hero brought their own motivations: honor, revenge, glory, that fueled the protracted conflict. How did these tensions affect the Greek war effort? The siege begins. Early battles and stalemates. The initial assault on Troy was met with fierce resistance. The Trojans, led by Hector, were skilled defenders and motivated by protecting their homes and families. Skirmishes and pitched battles occurred regularly, with neither side gaining a clear advantage. The war quickly turned into a drawn-out siege, testing the limits of resources, morale, and strategy. What were the living conditions like for soldiers and civilians during the siege? Divine intervention, gods in the war. The ancient Greeks believed their gods were active participants in human affairs. In the Iliad, gods take sides. Athena and Hera favor the Greeks, while Apollo and Aphrodite support Troy. They intervene in battles, protect heroes, and sometimes punish hubris. This divine drama added a spiritual dimension to the war, influencing the decisions and fates of mortal combatants. How did this belief affect the soldiers' courage and fear? The turning points: death of Patroclus and Achilles' wrath. One of the most pivotal moments was the death of Patroclus, Achilles' close friend and companion. Patroclus was killed by Hector, igniting Achilles' fury and prompting his return to battle. Achilles' rage and prowess turned the tide, leading to Hector's death and a temporary weakening of Troy's defenses. This personal tragedy highlights themes of friendship, honor, and revenge central to the story. What does Achilles' journey tell us about the costs of pride and anger? The Trojan Horse, the ultimate ruse. After nearly a decade of siege with no victory, the Greeks resorted to deception. Odysseus conceived the idea of constructing a giant wooden horse as a gift to the gods, secretly hiding warriors inside. The Greeks pretended to retreat, leaving the horse at Troy's gates. Believing the war was over, the Trojans brought the horse inside their walls. At night, the Greek soldiers emerged, opened the gates for the returning army, and sacked the city. Was this strategy based on actual siege tactics, or is it purely myth? Archaeological evidence suggests some form of surprise attack may have occurred. The fall of Troy, aftermath and destruction. The city's fall was catastrophic. According to legend, the city was burned, many inhabitants were killed or enslaved, and the Trojan royal family was destroyed. The trauma and destruction became the basis for countless tragedies, symbolizing the fragility of human glory. But fragments of Troy's culture and people survived, scattered across the ancient world. How did the destruction of Troy influence subsequent Greek and Roman culture? Troy's legacy, literature, culture, and modern interpretations. Troy's story has inspired millennia of art, literature, and thought. From Homer's Iliad and Odyssey to Virgil's Aeneid, which linked Trojan survivors to Rome's founding, the tale has shaped Western culture. Modern archaeology continues to explore the reality behind the myth. The story raises timeless questions about war, heroism, fate, and the power of storytelling. Why does Troy continue to captivate our imagination today? The Siege of Troy remains one of history's most mesmerizing blends of myth and reality. It reminds us how stories shape identity, how war tests the human spirit, and how cunning sometimes wins where brute force fails. If you found this deep dive into Troy intriguing, don't forget to subscribe to History Tales for more epic explorations of history's greatest stories. And now, I leave you with this. What lessons does the story of Troy hold for our world today?